Everything's connected. Wow, that sounds like some warm, steamy Joe. Warm, steamy Joe.
Oh, it is. It's a warm cup. It just felt right over the regular alcohol, beer on a pod because it's cold outside. I was already listed as probable, teetering on questionable due to being sick. But according to myself and anybody around stuffing, you will see me at the table. I'm expected to be active because you just can't miss a day like today for sniffles. So,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. It's one of those games. It's a playoff game, really, for a basic human in society. I mean, if you're listed as questionable, even if you had limited practice, you're out there this week. You're risking injury because it's that one time of the year where the plates are full. Uh, and speaking of full plates, my God, for a sports scoundrel, for a sports hound, a stacked slate of games. We kicked off 3 in the morning with the World Cup, and then on the gridiron, the NFL side, we got 3 games today, and this week alone, no bye weeks, all 32 teams in action. Fantastic time of the year. Great time of the year to be someone that enjoys sports. So, without further ado, we will jump into our special edition Fun Times Turkey Talk Pigskin NFL Week 12. We will start with the game that's going on right now. The Lions have scored. Jamal Williams had that on my anytime touchdown sheet. So ring, ring, ring. There's a green check. Not sure what's happened since, but we'll jump over to Mason here. Give us your take and best bets on Bills at Lions. Bookie was giving the Lions 10 points to cover. 10-point underdogs against the Bills. So Lions plus 9.5 at home. What do you got?
Well, great job by Dan Campbell. Really, he's rallied these guys the last couple of weeks. They're on a hot streak in Detroit and back at home again. I did have Buffalo winning this game, probably somewhere between 4 and 8 points. I don't think they cover that 11-point spread that Vegas laid on the table, but I think they get it done. Great job by Jamal Williams and the offense to kind of get things churning early, but I think the Bills should come back and handle business. They got back on track last week, although it wasn't super smooth. There were a couple bumps in the road, you think, or you saw with that game, but they did enough to beat Cleveland, and I think they win again today at Ford Field.
Yeah, I was telling Birdzilla it's an interesting game because it's a home game for the Lions, but it's also a home game for the Bills because the Bills just played there last week and the Lions were on the road last week. So they're traveling back into town to play the Bills on their home field. But, the Bills are now playing back to back games there. So 10-point spread. I just think it's a lot. We know the Lions are bad. We know they're bad on Thanksgiving. I believe it's been like 5 straight losses for the Lions on Thanksgiving, so it would be a lot for them to win. For that reason, I took Lions plus 9.5. Lions plus 9.5. I had Jamal Williams to score. I also have Dawson Knox to get in for the Bills. Um, but yeah, I didn't get cute with the alternates this week. I just thought, hey, let's ride with the bookie. Lions plus 9. Dan Campbell and the boys going up. I expect the Bills to win. Don't get me wrong. Um, but Lions cover this one. Home game, Turkey Day. Stuff it in.
And
Uh,
great weather too, so we should see a lot of big plays from skill player guys. You've got Stefan for Buffalo, and the Lions, Jamal Williams, like we said, he kind of flashing it early. So a lot to happen when there's turf and no snow. So
yeah, it's gonna make for that perfect environment on Turkey Day to give the Lions a chance, to give the Lions a chance. Um, yeah, Dawson Knox I have as the other touchdown. Jamal Williams already in, so if you had Jamal Williams, congratulations on cashing that touchdown. Next, we move to the second game of today, the Giants at the Cowboys, and surprisingly, bookies are saying Cowboys 10-point flat favorites. We know they blew out the Lions or the Vikings last week. We know the Giants are probably not as good as they started out the season being. But I think that 10 points is a lot. And for that reason, Giants plus 10, Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown, book it. Mason, what do you got on this one? Giants at the Cowboys in Dallas, and division rivalry. These games are always close, so that's why I took the +10.
Well, I mean, at first glance, it just seems like way too much. But I looked into this a little bit before the pod, and the Giants' offensive line is what's new to this week, and why that line is so big. Two 7-3 teams. Normally, this is a 2.5 point line because it is a division rivalry, maybe four, but it's 10.5 right now. And that's because Evan Lemue's out. Several starters are out on the offensive line. That's a piece that really the Giants haven't had to deal with. I mean, they've had injuries, but it wasn't on the offensive line, and that's Daniel Jones has shined this year. No, no news there. So that's a big reason is he's had a little bit of protection as opposed to years past, and it's not going to be there today. So, we know that the Cowboys had some guys listed as questionable on defense, but they were full participants. Michael Parsons and a couple other guys, they were fully expected to play, and they have played so far. So, um, that's why the line is so big. But I still don't think that the Cowboys cover that line even with the injuries. I think the Giants find a way to stick around. I'll go Cowboys -6.5 on this one, but definitely expect the Giants to struggle adjusting early, with multiple second string linemen.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, the Cowboys defense has gotten better each week. Micah Parsons definitely someone to look out for. Is going to put pressure on Daniel Jones. There's a prop bet out there that I saw. It was just for the Bills to win, and I think for Daniel Jones to have 25 plus rushing yards, which with Micah Parsons blitzing, that might be the case. He's going to have to run around a little bit. It's +150 on FanDuel. If you want to snap that one up, get it while you can. Max bet 50 on that. Yeah, for me, like I said, Giants +10. I think it's division rivalry games. They tend to be closer. Yes, it's in Dallas. A lot of different, you know, things going on here. We got Ezekiel Elliott coming back healthier. Obviously, with him and Pollard, that's going to be tough to pick there. They've been splitting carries. I think both of them could get in the end zone. So separate sheets, you might see those peppered around. But Barkley touchdown for sure. Giants cover +10. If it's up to 10.5, even better. Take that and run with it. Patriots at Vikings. This is a generous line because of the blowout last week. You get the Vikings at -2.5 as of last night. I did not check it this morning if it went back up to 3, but at 2.5, got to take the Vikings at home. And TJ Hawkinson, anytime touchdown, over the top, over the middle. Mason, what do you got here?
Yeah, I feel like the Patriots really wish this game was in New England. When you're a bad team, particularly on offense, facing an offense that's had success most of the year, pretty much every week but one, you want the weather. You want a home field on your side. The snow would have impacted this game for sure into the Patriots' favor to at least threaten that spread. But
Yeah.
there's no weather saving them. You're indoor. You're at US Bank Stadium in Minnesota. They want to bounce back after getting blown out. I don't know how the Patriots are going to keep this thing close. In fact, I'd say this one's probably over by the start of probably actually halftime. I think this is over. So long day ahead for the Patriots. Vikings should roll.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think there's multiple guys that can get in the end zone. I mentioned Hawkinson on this one. I just like the matchup there. I think the Patriots are going to overcommit to the run. Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, obviously, a big time playmaker. He's going to have some attention there. So I like Hawkinson down the seam over the middle, red zone type of touchdown. Think it's a blowout though. You're probably fine taking Cook or Jefferson to score and being all right with this one. Vikings all day. They'll continue to kind of right the ship and get that record back to a great holding level, really. I mean, if they can hold out, not losing much more than 2, 3 more games, big news for the Vikings. So I'll watch that all season long as my team there. Buccaneers at Browns. We move away from the Thanksgiving games going into Sunday. And I think Bucks keep rolling. I mean, there's really not much to it here. I believe Brissett's still playing. I haven't heard nothing about Watson starting just yet. Leonard Fournette touchdown, Bucks by a field goal. I think it's a little sloppier, but Bucks can get it done. They're the better team all around, and Brady's starting to click. Guys are starting to get healthy. saw Julio Jones look great last week, so I expect the same thing. The Buccaneers roll.
Yeah, I agree. I think Buccaneers win. I picked them to lose last weekend in Germany. They definitely got it done there, no problem. So I think they build off that. Like you said, the health starting to play into their favor a little bit, and if they can get some momentum as an offense and start to click, they could be a dangerous team going into the postseason. But right now, still a lot of work to be done. So yeah, it's got to start this weekend, and I think they probably win this thing by maybe three. I think it's a close game. They're going to be battling it out, but I'll take the Bucks.
Yeah, I got Buccaneers on that one by the field goal, 23-20. Take Leonard Fournette to score on that one, after a big passing week from Brady last week in Germany. Um, yeah, just excited to see Brady keep rolling. Hopefully the Buccaneers can keep improving that record and make it fun, make it competitive in the NFC. We know the 49ers have gotten better, so yeah, it's gonna be a dog fight out there. Bengals Titans. I took the under on this one, under 43. I just don't think there's a whole lot here. I think the Titans are starting to show the world that they're a good football team. Their defense is starting to get better, and I think Derrick Henry's a given each week to get into the end zone. So Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. I just stayed off the outcome of this game because I don't trust either team 100% just yet. You never know what you're going to get from the Bengals right now. They are getting hot, just like the Titans, but they have shown they can be bad teams, both of them at times. So under 43 in Nashville, Derrick Henry touchdown. Not much to it. Probably going to be a boring game, but what's your take on this one? Bengals at Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Titans to win somewhere probably close to like 24 to 17 or 23 to 13. Or the Titans, yeah, not the Vikings if I said that. But yeah, no, I like the Titans to handle it. I think they're coming on. They're a really well coached team. Haven't had as much injury problems as the Bengals have had. And look, last year this time, I mean, the Titans were kind of in a similar position, ahead of the pack, not really being talked about. Mike Vrabel though continues to get it done over there. So um, I would pick the Bengals if they were 100% healthy, but they're kind of dinged up. So yeah, I'll go Titans.
Titans. All right, like it. Good pick there. That was probably going to be my pick, but again, I just sketched out at the end and said under 43. Makes more sense to me there. So went with that. And then Derrick Henry would be my pick to get in. Texans at Dolphins. Now, this one, I just said, hey, let's go ahead and take Dolphins to cover the 2 touchdowns. I don't know what it's at as of this morning. Last night it was 13.5, 14, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown. Look, Texans are bad. We've seen it. Davis Mills should be just about done quarterbacking the team, and the Dolphins are getting back to their health. They're getting back to rolling. Love the addition of Jeff Wilson Jr., by the way, to the Dolphins. Him with Raheem Mostert has been lethal. Um, they spread the floor, spread the field very well with their receiving talent, their tight ends. Um, Dolphins are one of the best offensive teams in the league for that reason. Smash it, cover the spread. This one's going to be a blowout, by the way. I'll take Dolphins to win this one 38-13, covering all day. What do you got here?
Yeah, exactly. Just a team that's continuing to pick up steam versus a team that's been dead all year. Davis Mills has had some games where he's played pretty well for who he is as a player, but there's just not much around him. And the Dolphins were already a better team. They got better each week. The trade deadline, they were really aggressive on the trade deadline and got some key pieces back that you mentioned. So, I really like what they're doing over there. Probably the most fun people are having at Hard Rock Stadium in 15, 20 plus years at least. So we're going to see where this heads. And the biggest key, I think, is Tua. You've probably noticed this as well. Tua's played a lot better than everybody thought he would, including us. And he might actually be a little
100%.
better than what
God.
we thought, period. So we'll see.
Yeah, Tua has, and he's bounced back from the concussions, the hard hits, as if nothing ever happened. Um, Looks good, looks great. You add Bradley Chubb, you add Jeff Wilson Jr. They're just a good team. They're the version of the 49ers in the AFC, I think. They're about at that same, like, they have the young talent stacked around. It's just, hey, can Tua and Jimmy G perform consistently to get these guys to a title game? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, Dolphins hosting the Texans, Lovey Smith and the boys getting tossed. 38-13 is my pick there. Tyreek Hill, touchdown, book it. Wow. Next game, Bears beanie on today. Andy's drinking out of the Bears mug. But bad news in Bear City. Separated shoulder, torn ligaments for Justin Fields. Haven't heard that he's not going to play, though. Sounds like he's just going to play through it. It must be the obviously non-throwing arm. I separated my shoulder before. Horrible, horrible pain. So can't imagine it would be a great thing. Zach Wilson pulled from the starting job. Mike White will start. Jets favored by 6 at the moment. The under is 38.5. This game is going to be sketchy. I got David Montgomery scoring because of the bad shoulder for Justin Fields. What do you got here? Anything different? I took under 40, by the way, bumped it up from the 38.5 it was. Not going to be a pretty game.
Disgusting game ahead. Yeah. New York and Chicago fans, really the only ones that'll be tuned in. I mean, nationally, nobody cares about this. This is a mess from,
Oh,
like you said, the health issues to just the teams in general. So, picked the Bears to lose last week. I was, or no, I'm sorry. I picked them to win last week, and they lost. But for the most part, we've all been pretty spot on with our predictions. Them, I feel like when I say the Bears lose, normally they lose, but I just had an off week with them. But no, this time around, I think I'll take Chicago to lose again because I in a battle where I don't think Justin Fields ever quite gets comfortable because of that injury. I'm going to lean on the better defense to get this done. New York is much better from a personnel standpoint defensively. And I just think that the way that they can kind of limit Justin's running lanes is going to be a big difference in this game, especially with him being a little uncomfortable with that shoulder. So Mike White, I think he is much better than most backup quarterbacks in the league. I don't think he gets enough reps. Folklore legend. He had that huge game last year, so I think the Jets probably sneak away with this thing. I'll go New York 20, Chicago 13.
sounds about right. Hitting the under there at 37. Under the bookies under as well. And yeah, expect the running backs to get in. Look, take your Carter, Robinson, Montgomery. Herbert's out, so nothing there. And I don't expect Fields to run much with the bad shoulder. He's not going to want to get to. He's not going to want to get hit much. Coach is going to tell him stay in the pocket, just throw the ball. As a result of that, hey, Chase Claypool might be an option, but again, Jets, Sauce Gardner, could be locking boys up, so might not be the pick there. Stick with the running backs and the under on this one if you do anything betting wise. And yeah, I like the Jets in this one. Ugly. I don't think they cover. I would say Bears +6. This has a field goal, 4-point game written all over it to me. So I'll stick with that. Falcons Commanders. Next game, it's in DC and Landover. I just took Commanders money line. I don't really know what to expect from either team. And Taylor Heineke touchdown, goal line scramble, goal line quarterback sneak. Just a battle of two teams trying to claw together a barely below 500 type season. What do you got? Falcons Commanders.
I love the Falcons this weekend in DC. I think a steady dose of Tyler Algier, you mix in Cordell Patterson, they can get the job done. Commanders have really lacked the weapons all year long. The couple games they did win, you could definitely say the other team just kind of helped that case. They shot themselves a lot of the times in terms of their opponents. So
Yeah.
I like the Falcons and probably over 42 in this one.
Falcons and over 42. All right. Yep. Seems that was such a toss-up game for me. I just went with the Commanders because they're hot right now. But so is Patterson. It could be a big game for Patterson. So I just don't trust Mariota. I think Heineke's a better quarterback throwing the ball. And Pitts is out. Not that they threw to him at all anyways. So yeah, it's just I like Commanders here, home field advantage, a little bit in the rain. Falcons are an indoor team, so I like Commanders on that one. Broncos, Panthers. God, another disgusting game. Two bad teams. I think there's no way the Broncos don't win this, but I'm just taking over 36. I think I bought some points down and Deontay Foreman touchdown for Panthers. Look, Broncos have a pretty solid defense. Sam Darnold, by the way, getting the start for the Panthers. No more PJ Walker. Excited for that. Want to see what Darnold can bring to the table, but he has no weapons. McCaffrey's gone, Robbie Anderson's gone, and I think DJ Moore's hurt. Um, I don't like it for the Panthers at all, but still over 36. Foreman touchdown. Broncos win it pretty handily, I would say. Pretty handily. There's nothing to fear in this Panthers team at this point. Complete rebuild and experiment mode. So, what do you got over there?
Yeah, definitely. I expected the Broncos defense to dominate this week. Being a Panthers fan has to just feel like recurring nightmare. I mean, Darnold started with a mediocre set of wide receivers. He was, already pretty erratic and I don't think the long-term answer. But then they took away all of his weapons, traded him off, and then now they're just bringing him back to the starting lineup. Like that's just going to be so miserable. Panthers Nation, I'm sorry. Like that sucks. Yeah, I'll take Russell Wilson to probably throw for 2 touchdowns. Um, really just a day to practice routes if you're on that Denver team. I mean, just fresh set of grass, open field, and have some fun out there. I'll go Broncos 24, Carolina 6.
Yeah, they're gonna have trouble scoring. I'll give Darnold one passing touchdown as well. So I think they hit 14, but I think this is going to be a 20-14 game. Broncos win it, and Cortland Sutton probably big for the Broncos scoring there. They did release Melvin Gordon, so no more Melvin Gordon. I think Latavius Murray might be banged up, so don't know what we're going to see from the Broncos, but I still um, like the over of 36 bought down in this game a little bit. So Ravens at Jaguars. Baltimore favored by 4. Don't know why the spread is this low. Jacksonville, not a good team. Ravens heating up. Yes, it's in Jacksonville. The weather's going to be pretty solid. Baltimore to cover. Look, give them the 4-4 flat all right with the bookies. Travis Etienne heating up for the Jags. Travis Lawrence cannot throw the ball, cannot score in the red zone. So give me the Etienne touchdown all day. Baltimore covers 4. What do you have here? Ravens going into Jacksonville.
This could actually be a little bit of a trap game, and I'm going to pick the Jaguars to get the upset win.
All
Baltimore
right.
clearly the better team, but I just think that the opportunities in front of Jacksonville this weekend, and they make a couple more plays. I like the ETN anytime touchdown. Hate the Trevor Lawrence motivational speeches, but either way, Lamar Jackson, big day on the ground ahead. Jacksonville is probably just going to get cooked ankles wise, but yeah, I'll go Jaguars eke it out 27 to 23.
27-23. That would cover the 4 flat there. Yeah, I think Baltimore goes over 30 in this game. I do. I think Baltimore gets over 30. So 30 plus for Baltimore. I think the Jags struggle to get to 17. Baltimore covers all day, and they're trying to keep up, which you can't when your best player is your running back. So it's going to be an issue for them. Not much really analytically to talk about with that game, like we said. I mean, obviously, you said on the other flip side could be an upset. Jaguars do have a decent defense, so watch the Lamar Jackson anytime interception. One interception, possibly there with the Jacksonville defense. We move on to Chargers and Cardinals. This is another game where I do not know why the spread is so low. Cardinals are horrible at home. I believe the Cardinals are 1-5 or maybe even 1-7 at home. Cliff Kingsbury likely going to be done here as the head coach after this season. Austin Eckler's getting super hot right now. Anytime touchdown, love it. Chargers -3, riding that one all day. I think they're also getting hot at the right time. Cardinals are slipping, falling, tumbling. This is going to be a blowout. Chargers all day. Anything different on your side here?
Well, I'll let you know what the mood is around State Farm Stadium. I will be in attendance for this. Probably going to be at Westgate Entertainment District a couple hours early before that 2:05 kickoff to watch some red zone, get a couple desert loggers in me at State 48.
Yes.
Really excited for some football. But Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why the line is so small. I think -3 is just too conservative. The Cardinals should be, I mean, they'd be lucky to lose this game by 10, in my opinion. Colt McCoy has been pedestrian at best. You have this crowd that likes to talk about, oh, maybe we'll win because Kyler Murray's out and Kyler Murray's immature. And look, when they had all their weapons and a good team around them, Kyler Murray was 8-0 and all over the highlights every week. He cooked the Rams defense that won the Super Bowl. So you can't blame Kyler Murray for what's going on. Chargers should roll. I'm going to go with these guys to win 31-17. Um, but Arizona is in they are in disarray. Cliff Kingsbury, he dismissed their offensive line coach just hours before kickoff Sunday. You have Buda Baker after the game telling the media, I don't think everybody played 100% when asked, hey, did you guys anybody quit? He definitely implied that a lot of people did. And then, obviously you have the confusion, the piece around they let Benjamin go. The running game has struggled since. And there was some, indication from reporters coming out on Hard Knocks that, well, asked for more playing time, and you'll see that on an episode tonight, and that's why he was cut. And then you saw Benjamin tweet yesterday, nothing ever happened. I just got cut. Can't wait to watch this episode. So just confusion in the desert. I think you got to fire everybody and just have a new face from general manager to coach to coordinator. I mean, nobody in this building should come back next year. So another bad weekend ahead to me.
Speaking of coaching vacancies, there's rumblings that Sean Payton may return, and a Cardinals job may be something that lures him in. You got some weapons on offense. Don't see why not. Sean Payton, come on in. The desert seat is ready. It's toasty for you. You got weapons. Let's reload and rebuild this thing because Cliff is not the guy. Cliff is not the guy. So we got to move on from that. Raiders, Seahawks. Raiders are bad. They got lucky and won last week. Devontae Adams, major balled out. I think Seahawks are fading. With that, it's still 12th man, alt spread, Seahawks by a field goal. Raiders running back Josh Jacobs to get in the end zone, anytime touchdown. But I don't like it for the Raiders. They're an indoor team, and they're not a good team. They're not a good road team. And now they face the Seahawks in the weather on the road. Nasty game, but I'm taking the field goal. Seahawks by the field goal, 27-24. And Jacobs to score. Anything different you see there? Got an upset for the Raiders or just both Man City?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think that the Seattle Seahawks are a better team. Geno Smith's been more consistent at quarterback, and I think that's just going to continue. Not a whole lot to say about this one. Um, Devontae Adams, sure, he played in the winter in Green Bay, but the guy throwing the ball, he never has. He's always been in warm weather. If he was at Fresno State in college, he's been in Oakland since he got into the NFL. So I can't see it panning out. Seattle in a sloppy, inclement weather game.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Lockett has been a nice pick to get into the end zone. Kenneth Walker, if you're on the Seahawks train, keep smashing that because he's been in the end zone quite a bit. But I like Jacobs there due to the Raiders' inability to score quite a bit. They balled out last weekend. I don't expect Carr and Adams to have that same week. So expect the handoffs to go up 15 plus from Jacobs and the touchdown. Next game, Rams at Chiefs. Matt Stafford banged up. John Wolford banged up. I think Stafford might be playing though, honestly. And the spread's at 15.5, but the Chiefs are the best team in football. I expect them to keep rolling. And I got 2 anytime touchdowns, Isaiah Pacheco and Travis Kelce to cash, and the Chiefs to cover that 15.5, 16-point spread. I think this is a massacre. Chiefs Kingdom, this is going to be bad. Also, Rams released Darrell Henderson, so it's Cam Akers, and that's it over there. And we know they can't run the ball.
This is scary. Yeah, I would not want to be a Rams fan. Well, there was a report, and it's still out there. I don't think it was voided or disregarded, but Adam Schefter earlier in the week mentioned, actually yesterday, that third string quarterback Bryce Perkins was expected to get reps in practice this week in preparation if John Wolford could not go. Bryce Perkins played his college years at Virginia, 3-year starter for the Hoos, was actually a previous Arizona State scholarship player who transferred after he never got a chance to win the quarterback job. But having seen Wolford in person and Perkins in person at spring games and some mop up duty in college, um, Wolford is significantly a better pocket passer. I don't think Perkins is ready for this kind of role. He kind of reminds me of um, boy, what was that? Ian Book for the Saints
Ah,
when he came in last year. You know,
too
he
many of
he
his
is
rookie cards just laying around the closet. Tell you
Ian
what.
Book is terrible, and I don't want to disrespect Bryce Perkins like that because Bryce Perkins is a lot more mobile. He's really fast, but like his quarterbacking skills, I don't think are much separated from Book's as far as pocket passing. So it's a big stiff challenge, and I think the defense on KC side, like you said, is just it's too ferocious. A blowouts in the works. You don't want to have your NFL debut against a Chiefs defense that's starting to get confidence again. So um, I
Yeah,
expect
and
the
on the road,
over.
more or less.
I
Fuck.
think the over to be handled by Kansas City. 90% of the over should be covered by them, and then maybe a mop up touchdown on or two on Rams side. So Mahomes in for a big game.
Yeah, this is the game where Mahomes officially, if he's not already there, takes over everyone's MVP sheets. We're about to see what's going to happen. We're about to witness the massacre of Jalen Ramsey. Look, this man has not played up to par that he's talked and earned contracts and played. I mean, quite frankly, he was a great player at one point. He's not anymore. I don't know what happened, if the money got to his head, if he's just struggling physically this year, but the man's getting cooked and he's going to continue to get cooked. So watch that happen and unfold in front of your eyes.
I
Um,
just got to tell you though, real quick. I mean, because I know like Jalen, you're right. Jalen Ramsey has been kind of suspect for the money he signed, but he did get kind of back on my good side recently. You saw that highlight where he called out LeBron on the barbershop. So funny.
oh
LeBron
yeah,
had said
yeah,
something about how he
yeah.
had another prediction, and Jalen Ramsey was like, "Man, now you know what they be saying about you on Twitter, Bron. They say you be capping." And LeBron just tried to pretend like he didn't know. I'm like, "Oh, you definitely know, man. Major capping going on. Just
Uh,
hilarious."
yep. Yeah, I expect that to be and dangerous. Like I said, Pacheco touchdown, Kelsey touchdown. They'll keep it rolling. Both those guys super hot to finish second half last week. Saints at 49ers. Saints have had all types of quarterback issues. Mike Thomas hasn't played all year with the toe issue. No reason to think anything different happens. Look, the 49ers are rolling. They're at home. McCaffrey's going to get in the end zone this game. He didn't score last week. Niners cover the 10 points. Nothing to say there. Doesn't matter which of the three quarterbacks play. Won't matter. 49ers cooking, clicking at the right time. McCaffrey touchdown. Debo Samuel take some combined over yards on the rushing passing, but yeah, nothing more.
100%.
Niners mop up. So what do you got?
Yeah, I have the same thing. Best team in the NFC West, especially after the McCaffrey trade. No reason to even double guess or think for a second on this one. Yeah, Niners all day.
Yep. Blow up in the making. Packers, Eagles. This is the one I just said, hey, upset of the week, Packers money line. You do not want to go 4-8, I think is what they would be. 5-7 is much more respectable. So I think the Packers are gonna or maybe the Packers are at 3 wins. I don't know what it is, but this is the opportunity for the Packers to show, hey, they're not that bad. Just go in and hang with the Eagles, cover the spread. I'm taking it as my upset of the week. I just got Alan Lazard touchdown, Packers money line, nasty game. Packers 21-20, I'll say. I don't know. I just feel like it's ripe for an Aaron Rodgers comeback game. Aaron Rodgers fourth quarter comeback game at that. So Alan Lazard, big time touchdown to close it out in the fourth quarter. You got anything different here? Eagles rolling probably.
Yeah, I am going to take the Eagles to win. I am a firm believer in the Aaron Rodgers magic. I've seen it for years as a Bears fan. But just it's just too much that weighs on Philly's side. I think they already had their slip up game at least for the month earlier in this month when they had that loss, the controversial penalty and everything that came with it. But not this weekend, man. Packers just missing way too many pieces for me to get back on board. I think they're unraveling at the seams and will continue to pretty much the rest of the year. So I like a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Absolutely.
Yeah, that seems to be a almost automatic pick recently. He's been getting in the end zone. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers, it's all on Aaron Rodgers this game. As long as he throws the ball well, they can balance it with their running backs to keep this thing close. But I expect something magical from Aaron Rodgers. If not, this is the game where, hey, once the Packers, if they get blown out, you write them off for the year and they're done and that's it. So, Packers fans, be glued to your TVs for this one because this is the season deciding game for you guys, really. Um, Steelers at Colts. I don't know. I think this is a bad game for Jeff Saturday and the boys. Najee Harris starting to pick up steam. Scored last week. I like him again this week to score. And I like the Steelers to cover the 2-5. I think Steelers actually win by a touchdown. I think Steelers win this 17-10. I don't think the Colts get a lot going offensively. Jonathan Taylor might score. They might get a Pittman touchdown. But I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's problems for Jeff Saturday to face a Mike Tomlin team in your third NFL game after you were coaching high school. So bad matchup. Steelers, Najee Harris getting hot, and they take this one. What do you got here?
Picking the Colts has burnt me so much this year. I hope I don't regret it. I haven't done it in a while. I am going to pick the Colts, just because I think the quarterback play from Sam Ellinger has been surprisingly a little bit more productive than most people thought. And Kenny Pickett's still trying to get comfortable out there. I just don't trust him to get this win. I know Matt Ryan's back, but I just bring up Ellinger because I think even if Ryan's benched or can't go, I think even he's in a better position than Pickett. But either way, I think Colts probably win this thing, but it should be low scoring.
Yeah, it's another game you want to stay on the underside on for sure. Uh, Rookie coach, rookie quarterback facing a rookie coach at the home of the rookie coach. Like it's just a lot of different things going on. But either way, I think Tomlin's just a much better coach at this point in their career than Jeff Saturday, obviously. And that's going to be the difference. So that's just going to be Matt Ryan getting sacked quite a bit. Let's not forget TJ Watt is back and he's gonna start hitting Matt Ryan. So that's another one I like. Matt Ryan strip sack. I did actually TJ Watt strip sack. I did also want to take at one point a Pittsburgh defensive touchdown because I think that's actually in the books with the way Matt Ryan has turned the ball over and TJ Watt coming back. I like it. I love it. Pittsburgh defensive touchdown. If you want to get crazy with it, drop a little 10. You can get some goods on it, parlay it even with the Najee Harris or the Steelers cover. And hey, money making time. So, any parlays? Did you have any parlays on the three header today? The three games? Are you sitting out for turkey on this one?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sitting it out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely considered it. I mean, I poked around, I clicked on some stuff, but ultimately, it just it hadn't been that month. And I just thought, well, the way things have been, and today a chance to just relax and just eat and not be like checking my phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take the ladder and just enjoy. So, but I'm nonetheless, no excitement off of this slate. I mean, there's a lot of good games today, so this is gonna be soaking up every minute of it that I can. And typically, you know me, I don't really drink hard liquor, but I did acquire a bottle of whiskey because
Wow.
it's swigging
It's
day.
that
So.
time of the year. It is that time of the
Mhm.
year. Yeah, for me, I did go with the FanDuel. I think, or no, sorry, DraftKings. DraftKings had a 25% parlay boost for your anytime touchdown scores for today. So I did Jamal Williams,
Which
Saquon
checked off.
Barkley, and Dalvin Cook. And we got one down, two to go. That's 25% boosted. So I do have great feelings about that one to cash. Should be a great turkey day.
I actually love that sheet. Yeah. If there's one sheet I predict hits for yours, it's that one too. Like that's actually one of the sheets that I had previously built, and I'm just like clicked out of it. But I'm like, yeah, it looks ironclad. So I mean, we'll monitor that for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Good parlays cooking in. Next World Cup game is in 15 minutes. We have wrapped through our slate today. Of course, just the two of us. Rob out this week with COVID. So shout out to the only Invictus. Get better. We know he's in video game land right now, just snizzling, whistling, drinking tea and eating Chunky Campbell's soup. So Yep.
Yep. His
Lord.
cat's over there chewing on the cords. Yeah, no, he won't be at Turkey Day because of that, but as always, he is a full participant in Call of Duty. So, video game James, another guy you got to wonder, is he a limited participant in COD today? Is he a full participant? Would love to get the answer from him, and may have to hit him up after the show to see.
Yeah, we might make a COD appearance here in the next coming times. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna dive into this World Cup game and find out what happens in the next game here at the 12 o'clock slate. So yeah, another great week, guys. By the way, if you're wondering why we are live streaming this week instead of the typical um offline show and uploaded after, did have some computer issues. Thankfully, we run a multi-computer system over here. So we're running off the laptop today, and we are live streaming because we cannot post edit with the programs being on the other computer. So thanks for joining us if you stopped by. Fun times await. We'll see you next week for NFL Week 12. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy
Yep.
your turkeys, cash your parlays, drink some cold ones, and we'll see
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving 2022 World Cup. By the way, USA, England, Black Friday tomorrow. Hope you're not working. Tune in, drop some money.
And one
Yes.
thing too for England before we jump off, no matter what happens, at least here in the USA, we don't eat beans on our breakfast plates. Take care. Let's go.
He said we do. Yeah, nope. USA money line. Cash me outside. How about that?
Let's go.